And good Thursday morning to you, Smith Mountain Lake and Eastlake family. I'm Pastor Troy. This is
Pastor Ben.
And we are Eastlake Live every day for the past 3 weeks, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock. We've been live bringing you information and inspiration during this COVID-19 worldwide pandemic. And we are so thrilled that you are with us this morning. We have got a great show for you today. As we begin this morning, Ben, you doing well?
I'm doing pretty well. I've been excited about this day all week long because tonight, for the first time in a month, I'm getting my entire band together.
Less than 10.
Less than 10.
Less than 10 entire band.
Yep. To rehearse for Easter Sunday and to shoot a video. So I'm pumped to make some music.
That is awesome. Yeah. This is Easter week, Holy Week. We're having a wonderful time. A lot of cool things are happening around the lake over this weekend, and churches are doing a lot of neat things. And so we want you to share this video. We're going to give something really cool away today. We want you to go right now and share this video, and we're going to tell you what we've got planned today.
Sharing is a requirement to be eligible for the giveaway.
Yes, it is. And by the way, we are the only television show at Smith Mountain Lake that's required to wear a uniform.
Yeah.
So I think every day we've been wearing the same thing.
My wife's starting to get a little frustrated having to do my laundry so much.
Well, here's the deal. We might be the only television show at Smith Mountain Lake. I doubt it. There's something else out there, I'm sure. But
I don't know.
We are online right now to bring you information and inspiration for the Smith Mountain Lake community. Here's a couple things you need to know. Share this video. We're on the Eastlake website. We're also on YouTube now. Eastlake Community Church on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. And we are excited about this show, so excited about this show. You have no idea how excited we are. I want to tell you what Vitalize, did you hear what Vitalize Church is doing this weekend? This is really cool.
Yeah.
Tell us what they're doing.
So on Saturday night, Vitalize Church will be hosting a drive-in sunset Easter service at 7 p.m. at the Westlake Cinema parking lot.
That's cool. Pastor Tony, I know Deck Hardy had sent us some information on that, so we want you to support that. And we also want you to, if you don't go to Eastlake, that's wonderful. We're so glad you joined us. But would you put in the comments, what cool things are you seeing churches do around Easter this weekend? And we've got some big plans as well. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we're going to be back with some more good information. And we are back on Eastlake Live. We are so glad you are with us today, bringing information and inspiration to the Smith Mountain Lake community. I'm Pastor Troy. This is Pastor Ben. And here's what we want to say to you real quick. We got a great guest who's going to be with us in just a moment, and you don't want to miss this. This is a COVID-19 survivor, but also someone who's making a significant impact for good during the midst of this craziness, and we're going to tell you about that in a moment. But here's what we want you to know. We're here to bring you some encouragement and lighthearted good times here on weekday mornings at 10. But we also want you to know, if you need to talk to somebody, if you're having trouble, if you need counseling, prayer, whatever, you can email us. There's an email on the screen, pt@eastlake-church, Paul Tony, pt@eastlake-church.com. Send us a note. We have a team of staff that are willing to call you, Zoom with you, pray with you, encourage you, whatever. If you guys need something, if you know somebody that needs something, if you got a neighbor that needs food, or you need toilet paper, I don't know where we'll get it, but we'll find it. But seriously, if you need something, if you know someone who's in need, let us know. We're here to help you. Here's the deal. We're in the middle of Holy Week, the most difficult week in Jesus' life, and this is sort of appropriate that we're kind of going through this during this time. And here's the message. It's dark now, but brighter days are coming, and that's the message of the gospel. So be in touch with us. If you need anything, let us know, pt@eastlake-church.com. But we're very, very excited today. In just a moment, we're coming back with a guest, James Crocker, a businessman in Florida, who has been talking about this for several weeks, and he himself had COVID-19. Just this week, though, he found out about a friend's friend who was in the hospital in Orlando, and James is relentless, and James did what he had to do to help this friend. We're going to come back after this short video and talk to James and hear how he's making a difference in this moment. And we are back on Eastlake Live, and what a blessing it is. A guy that I've known lightly for many, many years, but my brother is friends with. I follow him on Facebook. He's a business owner. His name is James Crocker. He is with us this morning, and I believe he's on the screen with us now. James, you are with us. Thank you for being here. So this crisis has brought out a lot of emotions from a lot of different people. And would you just take a moment and tell us your story and your journey through this?
Well, about 5 weeks ago, Troy, my 27-year-old nephew died very prematurely, and we had a big funeral, and at that time there were no rules about social distancing, etc. So 20 members of my family got sick. What do you do at a funeral? You know, you hug, you cry, you pray, and you be close as a family. So that particular week we were very close, and as a result, 20 of us got sick. Well, 2 of us decided that, you know, we'd never been through anything like this before for 10 days, bad cough, bad fever. You know, I knew it was something different. And of course, all that time, then the breaking news about the COVID virus. So 2 of us decided to go get tested, and sure enough, we both tested positive. So we're as certain as we can be without each one being tested that we all had the virus. Well, and then the government starts like, you know, I have 160 team members here at Hog Technologies, and the government starts making my life, here I am dealing with the sickness and all that, and the government begins to like make my life just incredibly impossible by shutting down all business. And so I began to be vocal about that and saying, folks, you know, 50,000 people a year die from suicide, 300,000 die from obesity. Well, that was before the virus, because now they're sitting at home. That number's probably going to go up. But I just basically, Troy, started sharing all the ways that people die. And if we are going to conduct ourselves like this, we're going to sabotage the very engine that gives us the resources to have the best healthcare system in the world, to be the safest place you can live in the world. Our economy is very, very tightly connected to our physical health and safety.
Yes.
Can't separate the two. And so, but a buddy of mine from Orlando is a very prominent attorney up there and a very articulate, more articulate than I. He posted a post with the other side of the equation, very, very opposite from my post. In fact, I later learned that it was inspired in large part from my post.
Hey, James,
But
hold that for just 1 second, because here's our listeners are hearing your story, and James has, as he said, been very vocal. But he saw a post this week, and he's gonna. I want to come back in just a second, because I want to tell. You guys need to share this video right now. I want to get as many listeners on here as possible and watchers, because I want them to hear your story, because I agree with both sides of your story. I'm with you. I'm with you on both sides of this coin. He's a successful businessman, 160 folks in his company that he supports and helps through his business, Hog Technologies, and he's been speaking on behalf of the economy, and then something happened just this week that really changed the dynamic, although he's still in both places, but he's done something really incredible. And when we come back after this 30-second break, we're going to hear what happened this week. So share this video. Text your friends and family to get on here and watch this. You're going to want to see this. And we are back on Eastlake Live. And Ben, I don't know if you followed this story much, but this James Crocker's story has been
first
incredible.
I heard it this morning, but James and I go back a little ways. He was one of the leaders in our youth group when I was in the youth group. So
James, let me just ask you a quick question.
Old
Was
dude.
Ben a little rebel? Did he need Jesus back then?
it took a lot of prayer to see him through, man. It took a lot
Well,
of
you
prayer.
did a great job, because he's doing a great work up here. But James, tell us, you were speaking out about the economy getting shut down. This week you saw a post from a friend in Orlando. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, the post was about as opposite from my post as you can get. And yet, one of the things I feel like we're losing in this country is the ability to read or listen, to truly listen and hear and ingest and think about, a viewpoint that seems to be different from yours, especially when it's full of facts and backed up by fact. So I read it. I was actually so touched by it. The thing that touched me the most is included in that post was the fact that John's 52-year-old friend Michael lay in ICU in a coma, fighting COVID-19, having taken all the medications, and his only real hope left was a plasma transfusion. And so I reposted John's post on my Facebook site and said, read it, folks. It may seem to differ from mine, but it's just the opposite side of the same coin.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the economy and how our health is inherently tied to the economy. John's talking about our health and how our health is more important than the economy, which it kind of all is true. But anyways, I reposted it, and then I texted John, said, John, can you talk? And John texted me back. He said, no, man, I'm really tied up. I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. I have to find somebody who's had COVID-19, who hasn't lived a promiscuous lifestyle, who has been 21 days since they had their last symptoms, whose blood type matches, and on the list goes. And he said, I'm looking for a needle in a haystack. I can't talk right now. And I texted him back, and I said, John, call me. I'm the needle in the haystack you're looking for, buddy.
Dude, this is better than I've even read on Facebook.
and John called me, and he said, man, you were sick? I said, yeah, for 10 days, buddy. I was spent 2 days in the hospital. I was really sick, man. And sorry, I got.
No, you're good.
Anyways, anyways, yeah, I called him, and listen, from the very first moment, I knew it was a God story waiting to happen. I literally, without verifying my blood type, without verifying the number of days, without verifying any of that, I went and packed a bag and headed for Orlando. And on the way to Orlando, I verified my blood type. I called my doctor. He got into the system. This is now after 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
My blood type was a match. My you know what day it was, Troy? This is how God works right here. I love it. 20 days. The next morning when I was hoping to donate was the 21st day.
Wow.
That is
Now,
incredible.
I've heard since that it's 20 or 21, but I spent the next 12 hours the next day looking for someplace where I could get a negative test. Now, my wife had told me that you could be a donor, but you had to have a negative test. So I tried to get it here, but my doctors wouldn't prescribe it. They say, we're not allowed to do that. You can't, once you've been tested, if you test positive, you just got to go do the quarantine thing, do all that. But doc, I want to be a plasma donor. Well, sorry, we can't do that. So I spent 12 hours. At the end of 12 hours, the best I got is I got one test that would take a few days. Well, by this time, the patient may be dead. I mean, he's literally that critical.
Wow.
So then somebody turned me on to another test. I went in this guy's garage. I take this test. I test positive. Now, listen, I'm doing this on the back of a moped in this guy's garage, stuff laying everywhere. I'm like, at this point, I feel like I'm in a movie, okay? So he's like, immediately he says, get out of my garage. His wife and kid were there. He said, please go back inside. Shower the baby. I'm not kidding, honey. Shower and wipe this. We're disinfecting this whole garage. We go on the front porch, test positive again. I have pictures of the test. I took little videos and pictures of the test. I knew it wasn't true. It couldn't be true. I've been 21 days without any symptoms. I knew, and I'm feeling, people ask me, you back to 100%? No, I actually overshot a little bit. I'm running more like 110, 120, But seriously, so when I had given up and decided that it wasn't meant to be for the day, I went over to John Stenberg and I went over to his wife, Michael, the patient's wife's house. I had to get some food. She had food over there. Got some food, met the kids, spent a little time with them, try to encourage their hearts. They're so strong. 3 little kids, 3 kids from 8 to 19. Anyways, she gets a phone call, and it's Dr. Rawls, the head of the Orlando healthcare system, Orlando Health, and he says, how quick can your donor be over here? 10 minutes.
Wow.
Boom, man. I went over there, 10 minutes. I took another test, my 3rd test of the day. They stick that thing up your, halfway to your cerebellum.
Oh, man.
Within 30 minutes, I got my negative. The next morning, donated the plasma. 11 o'clock last night, the guy got the plasma transfusion. Thank you, Jesus. And this morning by 8 a.m., he was home mowing the lawn.
Oh, my word.
I'm kidding about that. We still need a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
We still need a lot of prayer. God needs to take the few loaves and fishes and add his blessing to it. But I just feel like all the way along, this is a God story. I know you,
James, this is so cool, and we are so blessed that you've taken time to share this with us. How I don't know how to tell people to follow you because you don't want everybody in the world friending you on Facebook, but James's story is here, and we're going to try to connect him to a national media outlet that he can get this story out far and wide, because what an incredible story. And the fact that what I love about you, James, is just watching you from afar is you're a problem solver. And so if it's the economy, we're trying to figure out how to solve it. If it's your business that you've created, it's a problem solving. And then this situation, which didn't align with your philosophy, your humility to say, well, dadgummit, it doesn't matter. I'm going to help this guy. And what a cool story. And thank you for taking the time to share with us. Ben, anything to follow up?
No, man, great to see you. Great to hear your story, and so excited to see what God's doing down there. Praying for this this guy you gave your blood to.
One of the cool things about this whole, if there is a cool thing about COVID-19, which I'm trying to figure that out, because we were supposed to open a 56,000 square foot facility last weekend, and we got bounced. But anyways, the cool thing that I'm saying is really cool about it is it's bringing out the essence of what matters in people, whether it's the church,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
it's politics,
Yeah.
whether it's business. We're getting back to we're peeling back the layers of fraud and getting back to what really matters. And you've kind of illustrated that in a really cool way. So, hey, James, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to text you a follow-up when I'm done, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah. And listen, Troy, I have help managing the whole Facebook thing. So if anybody, wants to join on Facebook, just James P. Crocker.
James P. Crocker.
We'll accept your friend request, and stay connected, do everything we can to push the battle forward on all fronts. The economical front, I'm encouraging people, be sensible, don't be irrational. Less than 1% of the people listed as dying from this thing have no serious underlying health concerns.
Right.
So, work with your employers. Please, come on. Our forefathers were storming the beaches of Normandy, roaming the jungles of Vietnam, protecting our freedom, protecting our economic interests around the world. And, my gosh, we can at least put a mask on, go to the office, wash your hands often, practice social distancing. You'll get better at it the more you practice.
Yeah.
And let's work together to keep this economic engine going and to do our part to keep America strong, And the other thing is, for sure, God is teaching us how fragile our dependence is on ourselves. Yeah. And he's always finding ways to remind us that our true source, is vertical.
Amen. Amen. I like what Lecrae said. Lecrae said, we didn't lose control. We just lost the perception that we ever had it. And there's a good word.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good way to wrap up, Troy.
Hey, thanks, James. God bless you. We will be back after this song. There's a song, you're going to love to hear this song. Introduce this song, Ben.
Yeah, so we reached out to our few from our worship team, and we're putting some videos together for a series. I don't know how it'll play out, but it's called Gospel Songs with Eastlake Worship. And our first song today is a mashup from David and Annie Keep. Check it out.
The head that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet. Now at his feet we bow. The one who wore our sin and shame, now robed in majesty. The radiance of perfect love now shines to see. Your name, victory. Your praise, rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. Your praise, rise to Christ our King. By your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected me, the resurrected me. In your name I come, Lord, to declare your victory. The resurrected me, the resurrected me. By your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected me, the resurrected me. In your name I come back to declare your victory. The resurrected King is resurrected me. The resurrected King, resurrected me. Resurrected me. There's salvation in your name, Jesus Christ, my liberty. Oh, Jesus Christ, my liberty. Oh.
Go ahead.
What an incredible story James gave us.
Yeah, and a great song.
A great song. And this is Holy Week, and just excited to celebrate the resurrection on Sunday.
Yeah, and thank you, James Crocker. What a great story that was. And so we actually are going to hold our giveaway till tomorrow. We got James at the last minute, and we wanted to give him as much time as we could. What an incredible interview that was. But we do have a few tweets, right? The best COVID-19 tweets. I think one of the things that I've heard about COVID-19 is that some of the things that we love the most are having to change the way they communicate. For example, Bill and Gloria Gaither wrote that song back in the early 70s, and it's out now. He touched me. Can't touch me no more. So that song, that had a good run though, 40, 50 years strong. KFC's going to have to change their slogan too, you know?
Yeah, I ain't licking any fingers.
No finger licking good. Nothing's finger licking good these days. And the other one is the Beatles, you know? I want to hold your hand. Can't be singing that no more.
Nope.
That's not happening. But anyways.
So I was thinking about it, and I realized that 2020 is the strictest parent I've ever had.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, but you know what though?
My parents were pretty strict.
Yep.
You know, but
in this whole quarantine thing, I've actually been doing about 3 books a week. And
wow. That's really good.
It's a lot of coloring, but 3 books is not bad.
Yeah, you know, homeschooling, of course, is still going on, and somebody gave an update. It said, today we did math, and here's the math problem they came up with. If you have 3 kids, and they are awake roughly 13 hours in the day, and you're trying to work from home, how many times will you hear the word snack?
17 million.
Wow.
17 million.
So
hey.
17 million divided by 13 divided by 3. I don't know that one.
My wife and I, we were arguing yesterday over what day it was. We just got in this really heated argument over what day is it? Guess what? We were both wrong. We neither one got it right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time for some good news with Jonathan.
Good news
Jonathan,
with
we're about to
JB.
wrap this show up. Do you have any good news before we get out of here today?
Got a couple of great stories for you. Starbucks.
Yep.
A lot of people like Starbucks.
Yep.
They're trying to give back to people. They have put up $10 million to establish an emergency relief fund for their employees who have been, adversely affected during the COVID crisis.
I was talking to a business, that's a very good word. I was talking to a business owner yesterday. They have set aside a significant amount of 6-figure money.
That's awesome.
Anybody that's working hourly in their business that gets it, they're going to cover it.
Wow.
That's cool.
One more story. I want you to hear what happened in Earlham, Iowa. I've never been there, but it's a town of only about 1,400 people.
Yep.
An anonymous donor came forward and purchased gift cards from a local grocery and 2 restaurants for the residents in that town. Listen to this.
Oh my.
549 households in Earlham each received a gift card to one of those places. The value of that gift combined was over $82,000. So good job, Earlham, Iowa.
Earlham, Iowa. I'll bet Earlham has a couple good gas stations. I'll bet it has a good diner.
There you go.
I'll bet there is a McDonald's on the edge of town. I'm just
Subway.
envisioning
There's probably
this.
Subway.
There's a
Yeah.
Subway right beside the
In the
nail
gas
salon
station.
and the haircut place. And what else would they have in Earlham? They have a library, probably a high school sitting on the outskirts
Elementary
of
school.
town.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, recovery numbers, 337,000 today.
Dad, when we get to 400, Jonathan's jumping in the lake.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
All right. Hey, it's been great to be with you. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastlake Live, Monday through Friday, right now, right here from Eastlake Community Church. We're excited about what God is going to do this weekend in all of our Easter celebrations. We're doing a drive-in Easter celebration here at Eastlake, 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. We'll be doing an Easter premiere at 9 a.m., which will be recorded, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend. God bless you. We'll see you.
Thank